The first screen of my app that I want is to see the people list and allow users to add more people to that list. Since the design of my app is to start from the list of people, let's now create the list view. Let's go to new screen, give the view a name. Let's call it people list. We know that we want to populate the person data that we've just created, so the list view will use a query tile. Let's enter the query. Keep the setting to main and select the entity that you want. So here we have all of the records of the person entity. We now want to display this data in a way that we want to turn into the body of the list. So let's see what we have in our cards library. Let's see if there are any list items. List item. We call it list item common because this one is very commonly used. And it has the fields that I want to find in my list. Now, if I want to edit this in a way, maybe change the color, we can do so here. And now let's start connecting our data points to our card. We want the first name to go in the main text label area and our last name to be there too. And let's attach the picture. So now we're starting to see the beginnings of a list view. We want to add some functionality to this as well. And in a list view, normally we'd add a search and clear bar. And this is another component that's available in our library. And it's right here. And the functionality here is when there's a search term that's brought in, for example, the X icon appears, but if there is no text typed into the search bar, there is no X that appears. Now we want to connect the search term to our query so that the query is filtered appropriately, and we have to modify the query a bit here to do that. If I decide I want to the search term to filter on first name, we go to the first name field, click on contains, bind it, so we're binding the search term to this field, and let's do so here. Now when I search the list on a term, that list is now filtered. So we have two parts of our list. We need one more part, and that's the nav bar. The nav bar is also a component because it contains several actions that we would need in your typical nav bar. The nav bar here contains icons to go back to the previous page, text for the title of the view itself, and a plus button that is attached to an action which allows the user to navigate to a new person screen. So what we'll do here is let's change the title to people list, and let's now include a screen name. Now what we want to do, this screen name corresponds to where users will go when they click on the plus button, and since we've created a new person screen and we want users to navigate to that screen from this list, we're going to insert that name here. So separately, we've created three parts of our screen, and now we want it to end up in our final layout view. This layout that we want is available in our library. We'll swap it out, or this looks good. It has a container for nav, search, and body. So we'll swap it out for that and connect these individual elements into the containers So now we have our final layout view here. If we publish the app, we can see that the functionality is still intact. And now let's save the view and preview it to see if it all works. So we will filter. The filter works. Let's try to add a new person. The navigation works. And there you have your list view built in minutes.